Hello there, welcome to Wake Up to the Bible. I'm Daniel Kaplan. I'm here with my father, Dr. Kaplan. Together we're going through the books of the Bible, Genesis through Deuteronomy, over the course of this year. We're doing a little bit every day. Today we're reading Genesis 39, 1 through 6, and we'll be reading from the Robert Alter translation. And yeah, it's a pretty short section, so let's see what happens here. And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, courtier of Pharaoh, the high chamberlain, an Egyptian man, brought him from the hands of the Ishmaelites who had brought him down there. And the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a successful man, and he was in the house of his Egyptian master. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and all that he did the Lord made succeed in his hand. And Joseph found favor in his eyes, and he ministered to him, and he put him in charge of his house, and all that he had he placed in his hands. And it happened from the time he put him in charge of his house and of all he had, that the Lord had blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake, and the Lord's blessing on all that he had in house and field. And he left all that he had in Joseph's hands, and he gave no thought to anything with him there save for the bread he ate. And Joseph was comely in features and was comely to look at. All right. Well, short, sweet, to the point. Ultimately, it looks like things are looking pretty good right now. So, what are your thoughts for this section here?
Well, we see that God allowed him to be sold into slavery, but then gave him some consolation within that. And you see that all through the account, that Joseph rises. You know, he has the best of a bad situation. That in prison too, he winds up with a lot of responsibility, and even though he's incarcerated. So it's a mixed bag. He's obviously going through a trial, but at the same time, he's still in effect advancing in certain ways, developing skills, leadership skills, and he's evident, and his appearance is mentioned here as a kind of tease for what's going to happen next.
Yeah, occasionally the Bible will point out that somebody is attractive, which I know can bother people sometimes, but some people are just attractive.
It's relevant, though. It was relevant to Jacob. He preferred Rachel, and it's relevant here because of what happens. Going to read later.
But I mean, David, it says so as well, and that can rub people the wrong way sometimes. But I mean, some people are just attractive.
No, if you write a novel, you want to describe people,
right?
And you want to.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess it just bothers people because it's like, what was it saying about other people? It's like some people are not as traditionally attractive as others. It's just genetics. I don't know what to tell you.
So it says about Jesus Christ prophetically that he didn't just stand out in appearance,
yeah. Well, he had to be pointed out.
Yeah, right. But he didn't. He wasn't, I guess, especially attractive, like say a movie star type,
right?
Based upon Isaiah 53 is why I'm saying that.
Interesting. That is interesting. Now, one thing that Alter points out is that Potiphar's name is mentioned once and never again. The rest of the account, it says master, 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 at least for a ways. And that's just to show you that difference.
We'll have more to say about Potiphar later. I think that it may be that he's not named much because of how he acted.
Interesting.
And I think Hollywood brought that out a little bit. There was a mini series done on Joseph, and Potiphar is their take on Potiphar is that he kind of figured maybe Joseph really wasn't to blame, but he had to get rid of him after that.
That's the way DreamWorks interprets it too.
Oh,
their
really?
animated
film.
Okay,
I see.
Well, I mean,
you mean the musical, not DreamWorks?
No, DreamWorks.
There's a DreamWorks on Joseph.
Yeah, it's called Joseph the King of Dreams.
I don't think I ever saw it.
You have. It's just rather forgettable.
Oh, okay.
It's no Prince of Egypt.
All right. Okay.
But it's okay.
I see.
It's got its moments.
Oh, okay.
It has some really beautiful animation in the dream sequences because it almost looks like a Van Gogh painting, which is very nice. But yeah, no, and it's pretty faithful.
Been years since I have seen it.
It's pretty faithful. It's not too bad.
when I saw it.
Yeah. No, Joseph Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat doesn't do anything particularly strange with Potiphar that I'm aware that I can think of. Now, there is a change in the Alter's translation that changes something that I've always speculated about. And that's verse 6, because he says he left all that he had in Joseph's hands, and he gave no thought to anything with him there save the bread he ate. Now, most of the time, I don't see that translated like that. I see it translated as food.
So Joseph. Okay, let's go to verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
He left all nothing except for the bread which he ate.
Okay, so that's
Yeah,
what you have too?
yeah.
Okay. I've seen food as well.
Well, lechem could be bread or
But
food.
my
If the word is lechem, it could be food.
well, the question is this is why I speculate, right? If it's bread, why would he not let Joseph handle his bread? If it was food, he might not want Joseph to handle his food because Joseph would limit the kind of food he could have.
I think it just means that in something as personal as that, he made his own decisions. But other than that, he left the rest to Joseph. I think that's the point. That
Mm-hmm.
bread is used
I
generally.
mean, I've seen a bunch of different speculations. One
They
speculation,
overdo it.
what?
They're overdoing it.
Well,
Well, go ahead.
thanks.
No, go ahead. But bread is symbolic of food in general, normally.
I understand.
Yeah, right.
But okay, so you have the possibility that maybe he didn't let him be in charge of food because Joseph would want to steer towards the dietary laws and he wouldn't want that. Possibly. I'm just saying stuff, okay? Another possibility is Potiphar did not want Joseph managing his food because one reason why Joseph was comely to look like was he wasn't as gluttonous as Potiphar. And maybe one reason why Potiphar's wife preferred Joseph was because Potiphar was a bit of a slob.
I would say this.
You know what I mean?
Even though he trusted Joseph, but the people who are well-to-do sometimes are careful about their food because
Food tasting.
because they could be poisoned.
That's another thing too.
But,
It shows you that Potiphar is trusting, but not completely gullible.
Right. I would just take it to mean in his own personal decisions, like what to eat. There he obviously that was his own.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, Joseph was in charge. It was a way of showing how important Joseph was. That's how I would take it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that maybe
that would kind of set up what's going to happen eventually, because that would mean the biggest betrayal is something that's very personal to him.
But it is interesting because Jacob may very well have been keeping the dietary laws because they were known before they were codified.
Well, I mean, Noah knew about them.
Yeah, but that is an interesting spin on it. But I don't know. It's just I'll just leave it as isn't it? I'll leave it as.
I'm just leaving it as a potential. I'm just saying, for those of you who like to see the continuity of the dietary laws, I would not rule out that it's possible.
Okay.
However, don't use it as a proof text in the debate.
The word evidently is probably lechem. I'll check it out later.
Fair enough.
Yeah. In fact, I'll check it out.
I know the ESV translates it as food.
Yeah, well,
and they have their reasons. Let's see what other.
As I said, lechem is symbolic of food. In fact, that's why when the Jews eat a meal,
yes, they
have bread, and they say, "Who brings forth bread from the earth?" But it's also symbolic of food.
NET says food.
Let me look at the Hebrew.
NASB says food.
It's 30. It's 39, or is it? No, we're into
HCSB
is it
says
39
food.
or 40? No, it's 39.
39.
Yeah, okay.
So a lot of people do say food. I'm just saying. Not just me. And I didn't translate it. I was riffing off of a translation. I didn't realize that it could say bread. So my whole theory was shattered because I was like, why wouldn't he be interested in the food?
What is the number of the verse?
39:6.
Oh, okay.
But it's okay. This just goes to show you why you can't get too bent out of shape before you read multiple translations.
Yeah, it is lechem. The word is lechem.
Yeah. So it could very well just be referring to bread. And like you said, it could just be referring to something that's very personal to himself he didn't bother with. Or maybe he liked to eat more than he should have, or who knows what. Just picturing Joseph as the fitness trainer, and he's like, nope, not going to do that.
Well, sometimes
I'm not going to accept your low-carb diet, sir.
Sometimes people speculate beyond what...
Try to get them on keto.
Well, no, sometimes people go overboard in a way. I mean,
Like me? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
no, no. I mean, I'm saying that Potiphar wasn't necessarily a Slav. It's just that Joseph was a young, attractive guy, and she was maybe not that, strict a woman.
I'm just saying, though, it's
He may not have been.
possible,
He may not have been the first
especially
one.
because it's the same exact verse,
Right?
right?
Yeah.
So you have a contrast.
Well,
He
that's
gave no thought to anything, and then Joseph is
yeah.
attractive.
All right.
So
Yeah.
maybe he was not very careful with how he ate, and
Yeah.
he had let himself go a little bit. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying. I'm not saying he was Jabba the Hutt.
No. Yeah. All right. Okay. That's fair enough. Yeah. That's
Yes,
fair enough.
it's just possible.
It's like what you call a midrash. You're sort of drinking as much as you can out of the verse.
Or it's called overreach, as my dad just told me. Thank you, thank you. I am not dogmatic about this, although I'm totally right. No,
I meant,
I'm not
I meant,
dogmatic about this. This is just speculation. It's just kind of fun to have with.
I meant to check the Rashi on this because it's a famous Rashi. He
The
said,
Rashi on eating?
no, no, Rashi on Joseph's appearance.
Oh.
Um,
I know it's a big thing that you weren't supposed to comb your
there
hair,
you
right?
go. Yeah, and it's Rashi. It says Joseph was handsome in form and appearance. Pardon me. I'll look at it when
So
I
it's
get a
like he took
chance.
too good care of himself and it was his fault.
Rashi says that he combed his hair,
Oh.
and this is a common Jewish expression among the ultra Orthodox. They cut their hair short,
Yep.
like military style,
Yep.
where they don't have to
Buzz cut.
comb it.
Yep.
And
So if you ever see those ultra people and they look all
yeah,
buzz cut, that's one
they have
reason
the
why.
side curls, but
Mm-hmm.
not short hair.
Yep.
And so um, I used to joke with people
Lest women just rape them in the middle of the street,
in
apparently,
the
because they're just going to
1960s.
be that
In the
irresistible.
1960s, people started wearing really long hair,
Mm-hmm.
and I was in a Christian college which was more conservative,
Mm-hmm.
and so people had short haircuts.
Right.
And I would get up and say, before I came to this college, my hair was shorter, and just to get a rise, out of them. But anyway, if you ask an ultra Orthodox Jew why is your hair so short, he would say, look what happened when Joseph combed his hair. That's what they'll tell you.
Which seems a little bit victim.
They'll
Seems
chuckle.
kind of victim blaming to me, but okay.
They'll chuckle, and they'll say,
Yes.
"Look what happened when
And
Joseph
then they'll
combed."
blame the victim.
Yeah, look what happened when Joseph combed his hair. That's what they'll tell you.
And you were getting on to me for an overreach. There's not even a comb. There's not even a comb mentioned.
I'll have to look back.
Look what they do.
I'll look back at that Rashi, but it's a famous one.
How dare you, sir?
Yeah.
Anyway. This is what happens when you only give us 6 verses. We start to lose control. So, any other things you want to get out of these 6 verses, or we better yes, we better move on before we lose our minds. All right. So anyway, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, call your friends. Make some comments. Am I being controversial? What do you think about that whole food thing? Comment below. Let me know. Or combing your hair. Do you think if you comb your hair, a woman's going to rape you in the street? Please let me know. Comments below. And I will see you tomorrow. Oh, I'm making the Twilight Zone.